let's welcome to the show the founder of ValChoice, Dan Karr. How are you?
I'm great.
Yeah.
Thank you for inviting me. That's a tough act to follow, though.
Yeah. See,
he has a lot of energy. He's a performer.
Insurance is one of those things like our viewers, 20-something, don't really think about just because we don't have to. Right. So what do you want to tell our viewers about it, and what inspired you to create this platform?
So I'm going to start with what inspired me. So I was hit by a car, and my health insurance wouldn't pay my medical bills, nor would the auto insurance of the lady who hit me, who was 100% at fault, or my own underinsured motorist. And so I had to pay the bills, or my credit would be ruined or go bankrupt. And it was a difficult experience, but when it was all done, I did recover the money, but I'd been so frustrated by the process that I decided that I was going to completely change what I do. I moved out of my career in technology, and I founded ValChoice I wrote a book, and then I founded ValChoice to bring transparency to insurance, because I think what happened to me shouldn't happen to anybody.
So insurance is a big deal. So my apartment just got flooded, and I'm dealing with the reconstruction here in New York, and my insurance company's actually been very good to me. But I've had other instances where insurance companies have not been very good to me.
Do you have the money yet?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, they handed it over like no problem.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they've handed over about 80%, so I'm missing 20. Okay. In terms of one of the things we most deal with as consumers is health insurance. Yep. And them paying for pharmaceutical drugs. You know, why do insurance companies get away with overriding doctors' orders is what I don't understand.
Well, so first, to be clear, we only provide transparency right now for auto and home insurance. So it is a complicated subject, and so we have to take it a bit at a time. We hope to get to health insurance as well. We're not there yet.
But auto insurance is also healthcare. People don't realize that.
There's
auto insurance, if you
yes,
get into a car accident,
yes,
auto insurance pays your medical bills.
Well, they're supposed to. They wouldn't pay mine.
And why is that?
That's a good question. I mean, well, so simply said, the dollar amount was too large. I mean, that's
but you
really,
were injured.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I went from the site of the accident to the intensive care unit at Stanford Hospital. So, yes, I was injured. There were actually attorneys involved that claimed I wasn't, which is hard to believe.
Attorneys on their side.
Yeah.
On their side.
Yeah.
I mean, how much do you think it's like an insurance claim agent, and not to put anybody, in front of the bus, they see the amount first and then decide, versus how it's supposed to be, you see what happened and then you calculate the amount?
Yeah,
because the first way protects their bottom line.
I guess her question is like, are you Dan or are you, Mr. Payout?
No, I'm a number.
Yeah, exactly.
You're a number too. You got lucky. You had the right number, so to speak. It depends on the company. And that's what we characterize. We tell people which companies are willing to pay claims and which aren't.
Okay, so tell us. Let's get right to it.
Let's get to it.
It's not as straightforward as just naming a company, because they change their behavior from location to location, right? A company might say, this year we really want to grow in New York, not New Jersey, and next year it could be completely the opposite.
So they'll treat people really nicely in New York while they're trying to grow?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, there's definitely differences based on their business goals.
Can you just give us an example? Any city in America you pick that as of 2020, which insurance agents, companies, providers are good and not as good?
Yeah, it's hard to do. That's why I hesitate. I'm gonna break it down kind of simply. Generally, if you see your company on TV, they're not great about paying claims.
Really?
Wait, on TV as in
advertisers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. That's almost everyone.
Yeah.
Well, no, actually, there are a lot of companies out there that people haven't heard of because they don't have the big marketing budgets. So we hear of the ones and we talk about the ones with the big marketing budgets, and those are the ones that are growing. Those are also the ones that perform generally the lowest when it comes to actually paying claims.
Well, let's talk about Geico. Warren Buffett famously said, I should have gone into insurance from the get-go. I would be richer than Jeff Bezos. Obviously, insurance is...
Yeah, and Gecko is not the only one he backs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's what's their business model? So we've analyzed companies in all kinds of different ways. Fundamentally, it comes down to what are they trying to achieve? Some are trying to achieve a great claims experience for that customer, no matter how large it is. And there's a number of those companies out there. They're not the ones we hear about every day. So it's all in the business goals and objectives.
Okay. And for what you do, come on, you're going to offend somebody.
Oh,
yeah, I mean,
absolutely.
these are
Yeah.
people with big pockets.
Oh,
This is a
absolutely.
What
powerful
are
industry.
you doing to prevent, I mean, you can't really prevent it, but to minimize the effect of them coming after you?
Well, so one of the things that we do, which is very fundamental to the company, is we use all publicly available data. We don't spin data in any way at all. So as compared to other rating agencies or rating services, they'll go out and ask questions about companies, but how do you word the question? Who do you ask
yeah,
the
that
question, right?
affects it.
It's all significantly affected, not just a little bit affected. We use the best quality data in the industry that comes from the state insurance regulators. It's public data. It's hard to get, but it's public data. And so any company can look at the data we're using and say, do we agree with those conclusions? And we've had a number of companies contact us and say, how do you do this? And so we'll talk them through how we do it. And in every case, they've never reached out to us again. They don't like
When
what we're
you say
doing.
these
if they're
are
reaching us.
states, different states, regulators' data, you don't pay for them, right?
This is publicly available information.
Publicly
it's publicly
available.
available,
And when
yeah,
you say
but
they're
it's-
hard to get, what do you mean? It's just hunting
You
down
have to
the
do a
right
public
person?
information request.
It gets a little bit too complicated to go through the whole process, but it includes programming on our side. It includes paying money sometimes. There's a variety of ways, but it hasn't been straightforward.
Okay.
We're out of time, but tell us about the book that you're carrying with you.
So the book, so when I concluded all the lawsuits that I had in order to recover the money that was clearly owed me, after the last meeting with the attorneys from the other side, we walked out of the building. I looked my attorney in the eye and said, this shouldn't happen to anybody. I am going to do something to change this. And I dedicated my life to it. So that was over 7 years ago now. First thing I did is I wrote a book. So the book was about the experience.
Injured Money, it's called.
Injured Money. So it was about the experience. It's loaded with things that can happen. One of the things that a person experiences when they get into this situation is they don't know how badly it's going to go wrong yet.
Of course.
Right? Things are not seeming right, but maybe there was a miscommunication or whatever. So you can kind of start to track on this. Are things going really off the rails? And during the process of writing the book, I realized, okay, what we need is transparency. So we really need to know which companies are good about paying claims, how do they price. We do all of that. So we've built all those tools over the years we've been working on it. Somebody can come to our website, ValChoice.com. They can look and see, am I getting a fair price for what I'm buying? And a key point that people don't realize, anybody could be with one company with the same car, the same house, the same driving record, the same everything, and they might be paying $1,000 with one company, they might be paying $4,000 with another company for the exact same coverage. Now, a lot of people, maybe they know they're paying more. Maybe they're the $4,000 customer. They think, well, I'm paying more because I'm with a great company. Well, the big shocker is probably not. Probably that company is one of the worst at handling claims, actually, because there's just no transparency. We provide transparency through that whole process, from what should my price be to how good is this company about paying claims. And most of the tools are free on our website.
Well, Dan,
Well,
you're doing God's work,
Yeah,
so
we
thank you.
just met today, but I feel because your personal experience, this is essentially like a public service for you.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Yeah, basically is, yeah.
Well,
Thank
thank you
you
for what you do.
Yeah,
it's
thank you for
greatly
what you do.
needed. Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.